Okay, welcome to KSAT News Now. We are streaming from the KSAT News studio. I'm joined by meteorologist Mia Montgomery today, and it is a full traffic and weather show.
It has been a busy morning, to say the least, hasn't it?
It has. I know we were talking about the commute this morning. A lot of that rain was definitely needed, but obviously led to a lot of issues on the roadway. You talked about your drive along 37. It was pretty bad.
It was just, there was a lot of ponding on the sides of the roadways. Thankfully, a lot of folks were kind of heeding the warnings that we had put out. Just take it slow because yes, it is very soggy. It was very messy out there. And even so, I mean, you just in the traffic department, y'all have been going.
It's been nonstop, pretty much full throttle. I mean, to say the least. We have had multiple crashes. We've had 18-wheelers that have rolled over. We've had 18-wheelers that hit guardrails as well. Thankfully, in some of those incidents, we know that there were no injuries reported, but we know that it has been a very serious morning out on the roadways. Obviously, the rain is something that we definitely needed, but for the roads, it wasn't a fun thing.
Right, I'm sure, yes. But you're right, at least we got some much-needed rainfall, and that's going to continue to be the theme here, really, throughout the remainder of the day today and into tomorrow as well. We've got some better rain chances that continue in the forecast. Here is a look at what we've picked up so far this Thursday. This is actually since yesterday evening. We started to see some thunderstorm activity develop late last night. Some of those storms actually went severe because they were producing some hail up to the size of quarters. We got a lot of video of some hail over in Lavernia as well as the Seguin area. Even at my parents' house in Wilson County, they picked up on a little bit of hail with a stronger thunderstorm. But of course, we don't want the hail, but we do need the rain, and that is what we are finding. These rainfall totals were updated about 30 minutes ago, officially over at SA International now, over an inch of that beneficial rainfall. We love to see it. Not so much rain the farther west you go, closer to the Rio Grande. That's where we will likely see the lower rainfall totals when all is said and done. Pleasanton just under half of an inch. But you can see this kind of swath of brighter colors in southern Atascosa County, stretching over to northern Karnes, southern Wilson. Radar estimates have picked up on anywhere between 4 to even 6+ inches of rainfall have been able to fall across that portion of south central Texas. That has also led to a few flooding issues out that way. Seguin just under an inch of rain. Gonzales, though, picking up a very decent amount, just under 1.75 inches, again in and around the San Antonio area. We've just seen that beneficial rainfall today. So it is fantastic out there. You can see right now we are starting to see a little bit of a break in the activity, not a ton of development off to our southwest. This first batch continues to move farther up to the northeast along I-35. So if you are fixing to hit the roadways heading up to Austin, San Marcos, you likely will run into some rain up that way. But again, that is moving away from San Antonio. We still do have a few showers out there across the coastal plains, Karnes County, Gonzales County, and things of that nature. But yes, we are not finished with the rain chances. In fact, we will continue to see some of that here throughout the remainder of this Thursday, tonight, and into Friday. But of course, we'll talk more in detail about the futurecast in just a few. But Stephen, I mean, just as we've been talking about all of this rain, while it is great to see, it has caused some issues out there on the roads. You know,
and we're keeping track of the roads, Mia, because we know that there were some incidents that were reported, and obviously the radar is something that, you know, we've been keeping a very close eye on as well. TransGuide has shown a lot of issues out there this morning, guys. So just take a look right here. We actually have a shot of 35 at loop 1604. Now what we're seeing, it looks like things are moving along just fine, but actually high water was reported out there a little bit earlier, so not a good situation. You see that traffic was moving along just fine, but in fact, I spoke to our friends at TransGuide. We know that high water was reported right here at I-10 eastbound, just over 35. Now look at that buildup that's taking place out there. Southbound lanes of 35 tend to get very crowded all the time. We always see that there's going to be a little bit of a congestion that exists there, but throw in some high water, it could make it a little bit tricky. So just remember to drive safe out there. Looks like first responders were able to open the highway there at 1604 eastbound over 35, but not the only area we are tracking. You got to take a jump over here now to I-10 eastbound at Hebner Road, where high water has also been reported by TxDOT. Now, earlier there was a little bit of a slowdown that was being picked up there. It doesn't appear to be the case at this point, plenty of green out there. We'll find out exactly what the update is and if that high water has still led to any closures. But do want to take a drive over here now. We actually had a major crash reported that looks like it's just cleared here off of Loop 410 southbound near Ingram Road. No buildup has been reported, but we've seen actually multiple crashes reported here throughout the day. So obviously, my message to you, take it slow out on the roads. That's always the best way to go. Let's see if we can now get a wide view of the metropolitan area, and noticing that there's a little bit of a congestion that's building here along 281 northbound, right around Hildebrand. That has been the site of at least 3 crashes this morning, and I'm not even kidding. Slow down before you approach that curve. We tend to see many issues reported in that area due to high speed, and when you have water in the mix, it makes it even more tricky and dangerous for you. So watch out there. Also noticing a little bit of a slowdown here off of I-10 westbound, so we'll find out what's going on there. That looks to be near Crossroads. So obviously our message to you is take it slow out on the roads. Here's another shot here at 10 at Medical where that could be causing that slowdown. Again, looks like we have multiple lanes blocked there at this time. Now, this again is just that shot we showed you on our map where we see multiple first responders on the scene. It does look like we are getting different shots now at 10 at Wurzbach, and you can really see that first responders have had to block off what appears to be a good portion of the highway. Again, we'll find out what's going on there, but we know that first responders have had to shut down areas due to major crashes, high water. We'll work with our friends at TransGuide. They've been busy nonstop, showing us a little bit of some of the conditions out there. As you can see, again, it's just been a really hectic morning out on the roads. We know that there were 18-wheelers that rolled over. In fact, Mia, there was one actually on 35 at 410 that was reported around 1:30 this morning. They moved it onto the access road. It actually took about 6 hours to clear up. The good news is no injuries were reported.
Okay, good.
So we're hoping everyone's doing okay out there, but one of the things we heard from first responders is that speed has been a factor as to why we're seeing some of these incidents pop up there. So drive safe.
Yes, that is kind of the big message throughout the remainder of today, because yes, we're not finished with the rain, and even into tomorrow, into the morning drive, we could find more soggy and messy conditions there as well. So I want to take you through the big picture, and then we'll zoom in and talk about where we are still seeing some of the rain and take you through the future cast, what we still could find over the next 24 to 36 hours. So what we found here, we've got a stalled front just off of the Texas coastline. That's a boundary that's just hanging out. Plenty of moisture is kind of overriding the top of that boundary. And what we're also seeing is a few little pieces of energy are just swinging across the Lone Star State. When you combine all of those ingredients together, that is why we do have the scattered to even widespread rainfall falling across portions of south central Texas. Now, the more widespread activity, at least as of this hour, is now moved off to our northeast, closer to the Austin area, the Brazos Valley, Bryan and College Station, even closer to Houston and far east Texas there as well. But you can see as we get a look at more of our high resolution radar right now, San Marcos still seeing some activity. New Braunfels is clearing out, but just off to the east near Seguin, crossing over I-10, that's where we still have a few lingering showers and downpours. But off to our southwest, more clearing is taking place, and we can zoom this in, still kind of look at where we're seeing some of that rain activity, especially on the far northern side of Bexar County, over there into Comal County along 281, Bulverde, Canyon Lake seeing a heavier downpour this hour. A little bit farther west, a little shower just passed through Bernie. That now farther up to the north in Kendall County. Comfort saw a few showers over the last 30 minutes, but that also is lifting farther up to the north there as well. As we swing this farther eastward, Luling, a little downpour there, especially along the I-10 corridor in between Luling and Seguin. Gonzales just had a couple of showers pass through your part of the county there as well. And we also do have a few lingering showers there, southern portion of Gonzales County and even stretching over into northeastern Karnes County there. Just a few more showers that are pushing their way farther up to the north. Now, I do want to mention this because remember, we were talking about this earlier, especially across southern Atascosa County, where we had training thunderstorms that just kind of followed in the same spot, one after another, last night through the overnight and into the early morning hours today. Radar estimates you can see here gathering in between 4 to 6 plus inches of rain that have fallen southern Atascosa into far northwestern Karnes, even southern Wilson. So we did have a flash flood warning. You can see that green green polygon that looks like it was just able to expire since you have seen a bit of a break in that activity. But still, if anyone's tuning in from that part of the viewing area, definitely take it slow, because in common trouble spots, ponding on the sides of roadways, poor drainage areas, likely still seeing some issues out there this hour as well. Let's talk about what we can expect throughout the remainder of the day. Again, around lunchtime, especially out to our south, we could find a few developing showers there. We are expecting a little bit of a break in that activity, at least here in town, leading up to lunchtime. But then notice here on your futurecast, as we head into the afternoon, it's just possible that we find more activity. That's going to continue to be the theme later tonight. This is 9 p.m. Some more scattered, even widespread showers possible into the early morning hours of our Friday. So that's why, as Stephen was mentioning, we were also talking about the morning commute tomorrow. Still keep the rain gear handy and still have the mentality that we need to be careful out there on the roadways, because it likely will be soggy in spots. And then more scattered rain looks to be the theme throughout the day tomorrow, and then we'll start to dry things out into Friday night, into early Saturday. You can see temperature wise, because of that added cloud cover and rain cooled air today, we're in the 50s. It's going to be chilly out there, so along with the rain umbrella, you are going to want the rain jacket. And then check out this weekend though, as we start to dry things out by Saturday morning. Weekend conditions looking pretty good for any festivities that you might have leading up to the Easter holiday on Sunday. Looking like we could find more sunshine out there on Sunday. Temperature is pretty comfortable in the 70s. We will warm things up into the beginning of next week. And sure, maybe a few isolated rain chances return by Monday and into Tuesday. So we'll keep eyes on that. We do want to end with this though. Some KSAT Connect photos that we've gotten in over the past 18 hours, and this was actually sent in from Seguin. Kind of just first glance, maybe you would think it was snow because it's just white on the ground.
It's April.
Right? But yes, this was actually hail that had accumulated on the ground from some of those thunderstorms that were able to push through mainly south and east of San Antonio last night. So we did get a lot of video and a lot of photos in from our wonderful viewers who sent all of this in to KSAT Connect near Lavernia, near Seguin, in Wilson County along 775. So yeah, again, we don't want the hail, but we will definitely take the rain.
I will also say it's a great way, this KSAT Connect, to connect with our viewers out in some areas where we're seeing things that we may not catch immediately.
It's so wonderful to get that ground truth, because you know we can see it on radar. Radar's estimating pea-size hail, marble-size hail, quarter-size hail, but it's when we actually get these photos, thanks to our awesome viewers, that's how we know, okay, yes, this is actually coming to fruition.
It keeps us in the know. You know, we appreciate all those photos, and you know, our viewers that send us in information, what they see out on the roads as well. And a quick update here, I actually just saw from TxDOT, we know how we saw a little bit of a buildup along 281. Fortunately, another major crash, guys, that's been reported in the area, as well as I-10 near Medical in the westbound lane. So I'll be tracking, I'll send an update. So along with the KSAT Connect photos, we want to encourage our viewers to download the KSAT app in general. Make sure you have those notifications turned on, because we send plenty of push alerts out there, including for this newscast. So if you don't have it downloaded, download it now, tell your friends, and know before you go. Know what's out there.
Before you go, absolutely. The Weather Authority app too, you and Justin, y'all did an appcast this morning for the morning commute. Just, you know, for folks that are stepping out the door and they want that extra tool, live weather coverage, traffic coverage on demand.
So helpful.
It's such a great resource
to
have.
Helpful. Well, Mia, we know it's going to be another busy day ahead of us, but we're going to get people through it.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Well, we're going to have more news, weather, and traffic coming up a little bit later at noon. But for now, if you have to head out the door in the next few minutes, just remember to pack that umbrella.
Yes.
We're not through yet, but we'll get you through it, guys.
Y'all have a great one. Stay dry.
Yeah.